Okay, so in answer to this question, is there anything you can do about it legally? The answer is no. Is it an awful thing to do? Absolutely. I'm going to get some grief for that second one. Look, children have got one mother and one father, and it does confuse kids if they're being taught that someone else other than their mum or dad is their mum or dad. You can of course take the view that children can have two mums or two dads. You can also teach them that as long as people love them, that's enough. But it can confuse a child, and especially a young child. It's something I see reasonably often. Well, I say reasonably often, more often than it should happen. And people say, what can I do about it? Now, in my experience, if a CAFCAS officer or a social worker sees this happening, they can tell you making a fuss over nothing. They can sometimes say to the person that's doing it, look, you're confusing the child, it's not in their best interest, you probably shouldn't do this. Also, if it comes to court, the judge will sometimes take a bit of issue with it, but won't be able to make an order against it because the court doesn't have that power. And besides, how do you get people to say things and not say things? Can't be done. The law doesn't work like that. It's a blunt instrument, which I'm always saying. That said, if you've got an ex-partner who's teaching your child to call you by your first name as opposed to mum or dad, it's something that you might want to mention to demonstrate your ex-partner's hostility, because it's diminishing your role as a parent, it's diminishing you as a person to your child, and it really isn't on. Now, other than that, there's not a lot you can do. People who do this sort of stuff will often say things like, well, it wasn't me, the child chose to, or they will say, well, my ex walked out the kid's life and it's his problem and it's down to him. But it's not enough for you to be indifferent to your ex-partner where your child is concerned. Your child has two parents, and you have a role to promote each other's relationship and respect each other as a parent, a united front for your child. Children feel awfully torn when their parents disagree and when they argue, and it can cause them a lot of upset, putting the burden on them to choose. So look, dads, you might not get with your ex, but mum is mum. And mums, you might not get with your ex, but dad is dad. Be careful what you say, because your children are watching and are listening, and it may well impact them in ways you can't possibly imagine. And even if it doesn't manifest now, I'm virtually guaranteeing you it's going to happen in the future. Be aware.